Alrighty guys, what is going on? It is Mansa here, bringing you guys the first video in our tutorial YouTube series here, okay, and how to edit these bad boys, these stairs right here, faster, okay? So if you guys enjoyed the content, alright, if you're looking forward to it, make sure you drop a like, subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. First things first, since this is the first episode in this tutorial series, it's going to be the most easy one. So some of my viewers might know how to do this already, might know the tips and tricks to edit these things faster, all that stuff, but some of you might not, alright? And then you're at a great starting point here because we're going to show you all the way down to the basics of just how to edit a ramp here a little bit quicker, and it should help you out in a couple situations and help you improve in the long run. So the first thing you're going to want to work on here is your edit button. Now a lot of you guys might still be using Builder Pro or Combat Pro. Now that is totally okay. I played on Builder Pro for the longest time, but I will recommend looking into some settings videos. I made one myself. As you can see, my settings button is my left stick here, so this button I'm wiggling around to walk around with, if I push in on it, I edit. Okay, so then all I have to do is drag it over and let go to do it. Now that brings me into edit on release. That is a very useful thing that I personally like to use. Again, not required, but you're asking for my tips. All right, here's a tip I have. I really like edit on release. As you can see right here, you're gonna go over to your game options and confirm edit on release. I have it on. Now what that does is basically when I'm done editing, all I do is I let go and it edits. Instead of having to hit a button for it, I just let go and it edits. That is really useful in my opinion. A lot of people, even pros, play without it, so it's definitely not required. Again, I'm just giving my personal tips here. Take them as you will. So I am trying to be as in-depth as possible here for this video. One thing I kind of skimmed over here is build immediately. All right, if you guys are on Combat Pro, I highly recommend you try moving over to Builder Pro and turn on build immediately. Now what this does is it makes it so it just places it right away. You just tap something and place it right away. All right, it's very, very useful. Get that ramp down before you even get into the edits. Another thing here is your edit hold time. Now I actually have mine, so I instantly edit. If you have edit hold time, you're gonna want to turn it down as low as you can, okay, to where it's not overpowering it. Now I highly recommend you guys get a custom button. All right, if you're still using A, you have other stuff that you use that button for and you can't instantly press it. If we go over to our edit button over here, look at this: custom binds, build controls, edit is left stick. There's nothing else I use left stick for. If you guys use switch mode / edit, you're not going to be able to pull it out as fast as you can if you just have it set to just insta edit. So I just tap that button and it edits. That is super huge, super helpful to be able to edit quicker. Alright, next step is going to be your edit mode sensitivity. I definitely recommend slowly inching your way up on your edit mode sensitivity multiplier. Basically, it takes your normal sensitivity and it bumps it up mine by 2, so that my normal looking around and then my editing looking around is twice as fast. This is very useful so that when you pull out the edit, you can go ahead and do that edit quicker than before. Alright, now a common issue you guys have is when you're going to edit, let's say you're trying to edit it to face the right direction, you might start at this middle part and then you're just going to move it over to the next middle part and get it to go quick, edit that way. You're going to go from this middle part to this middle part, but that is actually not the correct way to edit a ramp, alright? There's a quicker and faster way to do it. So instead of going from middle to middle here, alright, what we're going to have you guys do is you're going to go ahead and go middle to corner, okay? Middle to corner, and it does the same thing, middle to corner. Now by going from middle to corner, you are saving yourself so much more time than if you're trying to go all the way across and edit that. So just getting used to, you want to do, basically this applies to all edits too, is any situation where you're trying to edit, you want your crosshair, which is that little middle part of the screen right there, to be go through as little as possible. So as you can see, we're literally going from this top corner to this top corner. That little movement, you want as small as a movement as possible. Okay, instead of going all the way across, you're literally just gonna go corner to corner. Now you don't have to be exactly corner to corner, okay, because it does take a lot of practice to get fast with it. I mean, I still mess up sometimes, as you guys can see. No one's perfect with it, but basically the mentality here is you want to be going from middle to middle, from small corner to small corner, to get that edit in as fast as possible. That is a big one. That is a big tip right there, guys. All right, you'll be able to see it as I'm running through here. I'm literally just going corner to corner. Sometimes I'll miss it, but corner, corner, corner. Sometimes you miss it. Again, it's going to take practice. All right. But that is a huge, huge tip on editing ramps. And if you get in a situation where you're in your box, right? They're hopping, they're trying to get in your wall. Say they get in, they're on the other side of their ramp, they're spraying your ramp. You get nervous, whatever. Instead of going like this to this, right? You can just do a quick flick here. And get the shot off quicker. So that is a huge tip in our first episode, and that's the main focus, the main thing we're here to chat about, is corner to corner. Alright guys, so for this next part, I've got my friend here. We're going to go ahead and show you just a little bit more of a realistic situation while I am still explaining it. Alright, so if you're in your box, right, he's going to be coming up. You got a player, he's looking to get in your box. You're going to use that new edit right there, pop it down, and you can actually hit a shot on him just like that. And that actually brings me into another topic we're going to talk about, and it's how you can shoot people when they're in a ramp or through a ramp. So as you guys saw right there, I shot him through a ramp. There's a lot of situations in games where you guys will be confused when you shoot someone or they shoot you and you're not in a ramp. Basically, how Fortnite works is if we're slightly in it and it can't decide to put what side to put us on, like this right here, it will make it basically invisible. So you see how it teleported us back up? It is difficult to get, and this is kind of a more advanced step. Just one to keep in mind on kind of how it works, and knowing about it can be useful. So if we can go ahead and get this angle here, then we can literally edit this wall over here and shoot through our ramp. And as you can see, an OG Renegade Raider was actually stopped. Didn't know what to do. They were confused. So that's a more advanced step, but just knowing about how that works is really useful, because there's tons of times where you guys, I'd say the most common example is when you guys are in your squads match, your duos match, and your teammate gets knocked, and they get knocked and they're inside of your ramp, and you can't jump on your ramp. It's just invisible. So you need to tell your friend to get off that ramp so it becomes a real thing and it's not invisible, and they can work on it. But you can also use that to your advantage, to where you float through the ramp and people just don't expect it. All right, so here's another trick. Again, we're getting a little bit advanced forward, so feel free to pause the video and go at any time. If someone's trying to take your wall, if you do this edit right here, it is 100% they cannot take your wall. So if he's over here trying to pickaxe and take the wall, I will always get it. Now this is season 4 right now, chapter 2, so it might change later on, but as of now, doing this edit makes it impossible for them to take your wall, and you have it 100% of the time. Whereas if we do it this way, now note my friend here is on west, so he's not the best example of it. Did you actually get it that time?
Yeah.
Okay, and I was holding down. So as you can see, guys, he was able to take the wall, but doing this edit right here, it has been confirmed, makes it so they cannot take it from you. So that's something good to keep in mind if you just want to camp in your box, but also it is kind of not necessary, because normally if the player is trying to jump into your box, you want to just aim that shotgun, again, do that edit we learned today, and just work on getting that pump shot off. Because having them sit there and just try to take your wall over and over again is just going to waste your mats. But it is an interesting thing to know if you want to kind of troll your friends or something. So that's about as far as this first episode of the tutorial is going to go. I don't want to go too deep into it. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and leave a comment on what part of Fortnite you would like tips on next for Nintendo Switch. Peace out.